Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, tankers of Blitz Universe, to the channel. We're going to take a look at the AMX ELC bis today, because in my inbox I found two great replays of this little bugger, aptly named the Electric Biscuit by Bushka, and I mean, it looks funny. You can actually see that on the left there's a Leopard. It's a German tier 5 light tank counterpart, and that light tank actually dwarfs this little thing. It's really small, the biscuit. But first things first, I have to get something out of the way. I made a video yesterday about the WZ115A and how I am not going to be reviewing great tanks anymore. I made a comment on that one where somebody said, well, at least you're not like Pantouf. And I said, no, I'm not like Meaty either. And well, that may have come across as me slating Meaty, making him look like an asshole, like a dick. That was not my intention. I removed the post, and as said before, sorry Meaty for saying that. Shouldn't have done that. You have every right to review a crate tank and to buy crate tanks and to tell people that they should stop moaning about it if they don't get tanks. But I don't buy the crates. I will not review crate tanks anymore. So if you want to have an informed opinion on the tanks, you have to go to Meaty's channel, or you should look up things like Blitz Stars or Blitz Hanger or Armour Inspector, whatever. You can find all the tanks in there, and then you can make up your mind if this is a tank worth getting or not. Right, that said, out of the way, on with the game. We have Dark Thor here, who is on the hill at Mines, and you can see that he has problems with the two main drawbacks of the AMX ELC bis. That is not the fact that it has no armor. I mean, it is a light tank, so that is kind of expected. That's not with the gun, which has quite a long aim time, but it's with the fixed turret, or well, let's say a really wide gun arc. It goes 35 degrees to the left and 35 degrees to the right, but the fact that the turret is mounted backwards that much means that the gun depression is very bad, atrocious. Luckily, the tank is really small, so if you only back off from the edge of a hill, like just, I don't know, 10 meters, maybe even less, you will probably go, or unspotted, you will be in cover. But you have to get used to this tank. It's really quick. It's the quickest of the three tier 5 light tanks available. The Leopard, the Crusader are the other ones, and of course the Leopard is the one essential tier 5 tank, as was voted on a community post I did the other year on my channel. This one not so much, because it is awkward. It's an awkward tank. And talking about awkward, Wolverine, what are you doing? Go away! You've just taken the hill, mate. You have map control. There's a Stuk in the bottom left corner. There's an 82 somewhere rolling around between base A1 and spawn, and who's now rolling towards the base. Yeah, really good of you, Leopard, to go into the base and notify everybody of your presence. And then you can also see the, what's it? I think it's an M4 Sherman, actually. Oh, this is bad. No. Thor, no. Thor, no. You're a biscuit. You don't have a really big hammer. You can't just hit people and then expect to live, not with your armor, which is kind of there, technically speaking. But talking about armor, quote unquote. This tank has basically nothing. Basically nothing. It has armor. It can bounce. What shall we say? What can it bounce? I think it can bounce tier 2 tanks, something like that. That's about it. It has got some spaced armor on the mantlet, but the rest, it is 50 mils on the sides, 10 mils on the side of the hull. The front plate is 20 mils, which angled backwards and using the maximum gun depression gives you a whopping 102 mils thickness. That at least is something, because if you then back off at the edge of a hill, and if you have that front plate angled back, you might get an auto bounce, really lucky. But then again, if you have, oh, you won't be able to do that. It's 20 mils. It will it will get overmatched all the time. Everything will hit except when they hit the mantle. Let's all the tracks. Those magical troll bounces because of the armor. And Dark Thor is he's stuck between a Stuk and a 82, and apparently he's not unspotted yet. He has camel net, he has a camouflage paint, he is practically out of range now, and yes, can you reset his camo now? You can see that just counting to 10 doesn't quite work. As long as your viewports are spotted by the enemy, you will get spotted again, as long as they have a line of sight. So you should use terrain and use the bushes, and Dark Thor is going to do just that. There he goes into the bush. The 82 was moving around, does get spotted by Dark Thor, and he's going to reset the cap now. There he is, gets the shot, bounces. 82, 83. Yes, come on, mate. 80, you have to get stuck in now. You're going to lose by cap. Where's the Stuk? Nowhere to be seen. 90, 91. Close. 95, 96. Yes, he's in the camp. Right, that's good. Don't run that 82, because that's a heavy tank destroyer who's popped on his peoples. This guy knows what he's doing, but luckily APCR goes through. Yes, cap has been reset. He has got some breathing space now. Let's just roll around, swing the tank around. This is a fun fight. Quite an awkward tank to play in tier 5, the 82, versus the most awkward light tank in the entire game, I think, the T92E1. Two very unconventional tanks. One with absolutely no armor and one with quite ridiculous armor for tier 5, that is. The electric biscuit versus the, let's say, the cookie jar. The pillbox, the moving pillbox. Right, and then some words of encouragement for his team to start learning the game. This is what happens. I mean, you get frustrated with the game, but luckily the mind of a WoT Blitz player is easily revolved around, because once you spot that last remaining enemy and you're spotted yourself as well, and then you see he is AFK and you've got 15 seconds to go and you have your AP loaded and you need to bump into a T34, yes, go beside him, yes, 11 seconds, there we go, track the Stuk into place, pop adrenaline, and then at the end of the game you win, you get the last kill, and then you say GG. And that's just how it works for most of the players, I think. Dark Thor gets a good game, 1872 damage dealt, which is, I think, quite good, quite respectable for a 160 alpha pop gun with goodish penetration. Not brilliant, but good 120 base. That not bad at all for the gun that it has. APCR will get you up to 170, which is better than some of the medium tanks, but not as good as, say, the Crusader with a 6-pounder gun, or the M4 Sherman with a 76mm gun M1A1. And yes, this game, and as well as the one on mines, this game it's Eric O-Town. These are both top tier games, and I don't regularly get a game in the AMX ELC bis. And while it is an AMX ELC bis as a top tier tank, I think you would have to play it as an AMX ELC bait if you're bottom tier, because you can be one shot by KV2s. You can be hurt quite badly by basically all the big guns at tier 6, of which there are quite a few. And SU-100 can mount a really derpy gun. You obviously have the KV2, you have the KV-1S. All these tanks can use HE on you, no problem whatsoever. And you can see that Eric is trying to shoot that BDR over there, that tier 5 French heavy tank, and he just hasn't got the gun depression. So what you have to do, in my opinion, is roll along the edge of a ridge, pop over, spot people, and then pull back. Because you are such a low slung, annoying tank that you can come up at unexpected places, and you should not do what the light tank in the top left is doing, which I think is a leopard. Why you would camp in a light tank is beyond me. 9 out of 10 times it doesn't work. But with a leopard, with that spray and pray gun, I mean, with the AMX ELC bis at a pinch, once you've spotted the field and you figure out, yes, the best way to support my team is to go into the corner of the map, stay on top of the hill, and then shoot the enemy. As long as you've got shots and you've done your first initial job of spotting, a little bit of camping wouldn't go amiss. As long as it is effective fire support. But this leopard on the left with a spray and pray gun, he will never hit tanks reliably at that range. He might hit 1, 2, maybe 3 shots, maybe even 4, but yeah, it doesn't really work with those guns. Other than that, people play tanks in the way they want to. You can't make people spot if they do not want to do that, if they have no clue on how to play a tank. Right, this Churchill is very kindly driving backwards while Eric then swings the entire tank around to shoot him. And what I haven't mentioned yet about the biscuit, about the bait, is that if you are bottom tier tank, you can sometimes actually sit underneath the gun of an enemy, because you are just so tiny and so small. You are like a little cockroach, like a little bug that just sits under that gun. You're like that, you know, it looks like a little small vacuum cleaner that just waddles around while Eric bounces a shot on the tracks, I think, from that M4 Sherman. This was the troll bounce that I mentioned, that I was talking about. You will get like 1, 2, maybe every 2 or 3 games. About that. You will not reliably bounce in this tank. You can't count on that. You have to skirt the edges of the map. And I'm beginning to sound repetitive, but that's exactly what Eric is doing here. You can see he's constantly trying to team up with his teammates, or just trying to single-handedly shoot them. He's constantly trying to engage isolated targets. If you're not going to do that in an AMX ELC bis, it won't work. Because you don't have the flexibility of a fully traversable turret, you don't have the flexibility of good gun depression, but you do have the flexibility of a good camo rating, of good mobility, and just that pesky size you have. You can go to spots and go into places where other tanks cannot go. And a Leopard is a light tank as well, which has superior DPM to you. But if you shoot him and then another tank helps you and you can coordinate fire, then it really works. And then you have your hit points left, which means that at that moment you have a little bit more of quote-unquote armor. It's not real armor, obviously. But in an endgame, in a 2 versus 1, your armor, your hit points become effective to use in a brawl. You can go in, sustain a hit, and you can sufficiently trade damage. Eric gets a nice ace game as well. As you can see, Top Gun, high caliber, pools medal, and thank you very much Eric and Darkthor for allowing me to use your replays on the channel for a little video on the AMX ELC bis. My name is Martin Dogger. Catch you all on the next video. Cheers, happy tanking!